What's up YouTube? For tonight's video, we have a full Bagon evolution team. So this evolution team was quite tricky because it had Mega Ments in it. So I had to kind of get battles that were sort of in the realms of... It was difficult because Mega Ments is obviously it's a very strong Pokemon, so I had to really nerf the set down and make something really fun. So with this one, what is your favorite dragon type Pokemon? Leave a comment in the comment section, people. I wonder which dragon will be the most popular. So this is a battle on my chat against Teo. Now, we've got Bagon starting out as the lead. So I've got a physical sweeping Bagon. Now, it gets Sheer Force's ability, which is really good. So I thought I'd make use of that. So this has Dragon Dance. It has Dragon Rush. So Dragon Rush has a flinch stance, which gives it a boost from Sheer Force. I've also got Crunch and Rock Slide on the set, so all of them get boosted from Sheer Force. So go for the Dragon Rush on the Samurott, and it does pretty nice damage. I'm very, very happy with that one. I'm not sure what kind of set this was, and then I seen Fury Cutter. I was like, oh man, what is this? Oh, I thought that was a Venusaur for a second. So going for a second Dragon Dance here, boosting my attack and speed. So I know that I can take the Samurott out on the next set in case, unless I miss or something. That's the only problem in Dragon Rush, right? It can miss. So I think this is my third or fourth video in a row for today narrating it. So we're getting there, people. We've still got a few videos to go. So taking out the Samurott, and now we have Stall coming out, which is Vaporeon. So since I got +2 in attack, I thought this is really good. And then it misses. I'm like, oh man, that would have been really, really good. Because the Dragon Rush would do like well over half health with 2 Dragonets up as Sheer Force and Stab. That was going to do a lot of damage. So the Vaporeon lands a Toxic on me. Unfortunately, that's kind of really sucks, but that's how it is. So going for Dragon Rush again, and it does some really nice damage to Vaporeon. So just over half health, so that would have been a 2-hit KO. So now it's going to go for a Scald, and that's going to be enough after the Toxic damage to actually take me out, unfortunately. It could have been a 3-hit KO after those leftovers, but, it would have been very, very close. So that's my Bagon down, but it did a pretty good job getting rid of the Fury Cutter Samurott. So now we have the Vaporeon, which is a problem Pokemon. I've got to get rid of this. So swapping in my Salamence. This is a Choice Spec Salamence, which is really fun to use. Now, it's not a Choice Spec Salamence. It's a special Salamence, people. But it's got this Fly MZ on it with Air Cutter. So I thought this would be a really fun set to use. So I've got Air Cutter, right? I've got Dragapulse instead of Draco Meteor, so I don't need to swap out. I was considering doing like a White Herb Salamence set or like a Dragonium Z one, but I thought I'd go for Supersonic Sky Strike because that'd be really cool. So Salamence is going to fly majestically into the air, and fortunately it's going to do like monkeys to the Vaporeon because it used Protect. So that sucks. I've also got Fire Blast on this set too, just for some annoying Stilt types or Ice types that would come into it. So now Vaporeon is going to be able to stall me out really well. So go for Air Cutter, hoping I get a crit. Actually has a nice crit chance, but that is to no avail. So the Vaporeon, I almost choked on a Politoed then. So I'm going to get burned by the Scald, of course I do, and Vaporeon is going to be like impossible to kill. So I know this thing is going to have Wish. I was wishing for a Air Cutter to take this damn thing out. So going for a Fire Blast, I actually misclicked that one, people. I clicked like the little information thing. I actually clicked that instead of the move, and I was like, oh bugger. I wish they could have select your move, right? Are you sure you want to select your move? That'd be really good. That'd be like a good little addition. I would take it a little bit longer, but it would be really good. So anyway, the Vaporeon, I'm trying to take this thing out. I'm going for Dragapulse this time because that's the move I wanted to use before. And that is enough to take out the Vaporeon, thank goodness. It was named Stall for a reason. Very bulky Pokemon. So Salamence is burned. It's already taken a lot of health, so I've got to do something. So now we have the Primeape coming in, so I'm like, I can go for Air Cutter here. It lands. I'm like, sweet, this should do a lot of damage. Almost should take it out, and it takes it out in one shot. However, that crit actually did matter because it was a max health Primeape. I'm guessing they had Final Gambit or something, but they did tell me after it was max health, so I'm guessing they had Final Gambit on their Primal Gambit. I'm guessing they had Primal Gambit. I did it again, people. Primal Gambit. So going for the Air Slash, Scummy Air Slash on the Purloin. Purloin's going to go for the Covet, and it's not going to take me out because I've got a Z Crystal. So it's going to do a little bit of damage to itself with Black Sludge. I'm like, interesting item. So now I can just finish this thing off with the Dragon Balls. I'm guessing the Covet was a misclick. I'm absolutely sure that, like I did with Fire Blast a little while ago. It's actually quite easy to do, really, if you're not paying 100% attention, or you just sausage fingers a DS. I need a drink. So now we have the Victory Rail coming out. I think this is like a Deadly Sins team. They had like a... well, most of them were. So going for the air cutter on the Victory Bell. Does 3/4 damage, and it's going to eat a berry. Oh my goodness. I ate this like a bar right before I narrated. It probably wasn't the best idea. Had like peanuts and stuff in it. And I had like a peanut in my throat. So it's going to use Stockpile, and it's going to get like a buff in defense and special defense. So Stockpile's an interesting move on Victory Rail. Now Victory Rail can be, if you want to build like a fairly bulky one, you probably could. I've done it myself before. So bringing in the Salamence, which is the Mega Salamence. Now this set was so bad. So I had to make it really bad, but I had to make a fun one at the same time. So upon Mega Evolving, I actually gave it the Moxie ability, but I really didn't think I could make use of it this time, so I wanted that Aero 8 so I could go for the Rage. So this gets Rage, and I thought that was absolutely funny. So yeah, going for the Rage, and the Victory Bell, since it used it ate its berry via Gluttony, it's going to give off that Belch, giving me another +1 attack from the Rage. So this Rage is hype, people. I'm going for that. Now this is a max health, max special defense, Mega Salamence. I've got Roost, Rage, Iron Defense, and Bite. So out comes the Jinx. This was absolute madness. So remember, I had a +2 in attack, right? So going for the Bite on the Jinx, I'm like, this is GG, right? Jinx lived! It was a max health, max defense Jinx! What the fuck? And then it's going to kiss me, and that's going to confuse my Mega Salamence. I laughed so hard that Jinx lived that Bite. I couldn't believe it. So anyway, the Jinx is got some sort of strategy going. However, the Rage is going to be enough to take out the Jinx. And that is game. I hope you guys enjoyed this battle. Let's get on to the second one. Oh, that Jinx, man. That was crazy. Max health, max defense Jinx. Man, that took that Bite. What if, like, someone do the calcs. Was it actually max damage or was it min damage? I had no attack EVs, but I had +2 in attack. So now, leading off with things with the Bagon, the big fat sack comes out. I'm like, oh man, not this dude again. It's going to like sweep my team. So it's going to go for Fake Out, breaking any Focus Sash hopes that I ever had in my life. So it's going to go for the Aero Ace now. So with Hustle, that's never going to miss, and it's Stab 2, and it's hitting like really, really hard. I actually lived that one, and I'm able to get it off the rock side, which is really nice there, and that's going to take it all the way to its Focus Sash, and it lived on like 1 health. We both have Focus Sashes. If it didn't have Fake Out, that would have been could have been a little bit of a different story. So now, swapping out my Bagon, I thought it might be handy a little bit later on, and swapping in my Shelgon. Seeing if this thing actually has something like Ice Punch. I was worried about Ice Punch because like my whole team is going to get swept by this thing. So Shelgon is a massive defensive wall I've got on this one. Max health, max defense. I've got the Everlight on it, obviously, to make it really bulky. I've got Dragon Claw, Toxic, Rest, Sleep Talk, Classic, PIMPNITE. So now we have the Golisopod coming out with the first impression, and doesn't do too much. And I get flinched. I'm like, wait, it's got King's Rock. What is this? And then it's going to go for a Pin Missile. So it's a scummy Pin Missile King's Rock set. So the idea is to hit me as many times as possible, which was 2. So go for the Toxic. I hate it when you get 2 on like multi-hitting moves. It really sucks. And then sometimes you get like 5. It's amazing. I guess that's kind of why they brought in Skilling. That's a rather interesting ability. So I've got the Toxic on the Golisopod. The only thing, right, I need to get it in range to activate Emergency Exit. So the Golisopod is going to hit me twice. It's going to hit, I'm on 69 health. It's going to hit me 3 times. It's going to hit me 4 times. And guess what, people? After hitting me 2 times, it hit me 5 times in a row. Oh, and I didn't get the flinch, which is very, very lucky, because I could have been in big, big trouble then. Getting off the Dragon Claw, the Toxic is going to put it in range of the Emergency Exit, and Golisopod is going to swap out. Man, that was really close. I almost got wrecked by a Pin Missile Golisopod. I wish I did, actually. I low-key wish I did. So now Sit On Me comes out, and how many Pokemon? I think there was another, like, there was an Ariados called, what was it? I forgot, like, put this down your pants or something. So anyway, I wouldn't like to sit on the Ferroseed. That would be rather uncomfortable. So using Classic Rest, and it's going to hit me with a Gyro Ball, and that's not going to do too much damage since I'm very bulky and not probably the fastest Pokemon in the world. So swapping out Shelgon, I thought I could use it for a little bit later on shenanigans. So we have the Ferroseed swapping out, and we have the Delibird swapping in again. So I'm like, this is going to be able to use Fake Out. I could, should I sack it, or should I just swap out and go back into Shelgon? Decide to go into Shelgon and see if this thing actually has. Clearly, it didn't have Ice Punch, or would have already used it. So it had Fake Out, Aerial Ace. I haven't seen what the other moves were. I think I was thinking maybe it's got like Destiny Bomb, because that could run really nicely on focus sash sets and normally those. Now we have the Delibird swapping out, and we have the Bibarel coming out, which is cool to see. So I'm going for, hopefully, I was like, if I can get this Sleep Talk Toxic off, that'd be really nice. Then I could go for Dragon Claw. And man, I get it. I'm like, damn, that's really good. It wasn't me playing at this time, people. I swear it wasn't. So I've got the Toxic up on the Bibarel. I was hoping this, didn't have like Blizzard or Ice Beam or some crazy crap like that, because I didn't want to get swept by a special Bibarel. So now it's going to go for the Charge Beam, boosting its amazing special attack to sky highs. So it gets a special attack boost from the Charge Beam. Now, at this point, I was like, if this does have an Ice Move, like, because I know that it does get an Ice Move, it was either Blizzard or Ice Beam or both. I really had to take it out. So getting a Sleep Talk, Rest, never saw that one coming, which fails. Now, that was the second turn, so I can start going for Dragon Pulses this turn too. So I'm swapping out Shelgon, and I'm going into my Bagon just to let that Toxic rack up a little bit on the Bibarel. So now it's going to go for yet another Charge Move. I thought it might go for an Ice Move, but it didn't. So my Bagon is obviously going to go down to that one. It ran its race, really. I was pretty happy with its performance. So the Bagon's going to go down, and the Bibarel gets another special attack boost. I've got the Toxic racking up nicely too. So I'm guessing this could be like a max health, max special attack Bibarel, something like that. So swapping in my special Salamence, I thought this would be a prime opportunity to go for the Fly MZ Air Cutter, which I thought to do. Now, this is interesting. It actually it obviously comes from an early on tutor move too. You don't actually see Air Cutter too much. It's a very, its accuracy isn't 100%, but it does have a crit chance. It's a sort of like a forgotten flying move, I'd say. One of the more forgotten ones. Kind of like, well, bounces a little bit, but you can use like Z bounce. So I'd say Air Cutter is even more forgotten than bounce. So going for the Fly MZ Air Cutter, and that is enough to take out the Bibarel. So I was very happy with that. So now we have, here it is, it's a spider. So we've got Sit on Me and we've got Put Me Inside You. Man, these nicknames are getting worse by the day. So go for the Air Cutter on the Ariados, and that's going to be enough to take it out in one shot. I was actually a little bit worried that it missed. I get a crit too, but I don't think that actually mattered at all. In case it's like some crazy set, but I don't think it actually even mattered. There's no way that would have lived that. So now we have a Delibird coming in. It's obviously going to go for the fake out. Is the Delibird, has it been saving Ice Punch this whole game just to troll me? That was the number one question. So now I'm going to go for the Ominous Wind, another nice tuner move that it gets earlier on, and I'm hoping to get some boost from that. That was the last move I gave it to. Out of all the battles I did with this team, I never got one Ominous boost at all. Like, not even one. I know it's a 10% chance, but usually you get like one. So now comes in the Omastar. I've got to swap out my Salamence there. I'm worried about this thing, and swapping into my Shelgon. I'm hoping I can get like a Toxic. Then it uses Shell Smash. I'm like, oh, this is really bad, because if it's a special set, that's game. Like, straight away, if it's got Ice Beam, there's no way I'm going to be able to live that. But judging on their sets already, I knew they'd use something crazy. So it's got the White Herb, obviously, to get rid of those drops in defenses. And now it's going to be a physical set with Stone Edge. Stone Edge misses. I'm like, damn, son, that was really good. I'm able to get off the Toxic against the Omastar. So the best thing I can do here is either go for Rest or go for Dragon Claw. I thought Dragon Claw would be the best option because that's like instant damage. And I really got to take this thing out ASAP because it's going to wreck like both the Pokemon that I've got, apart from Shelgon. Shelgon was probably able to take maybe one hit. So Stone Edge misses again. That's 2 in a row. Dragon Claw does some nice damage, and the Toxic is racking up beautifully. So obviously the next Dragon Claw is going to be enough to take this out nearly. Finally, Stone Edge connects to Shelgon, and Shelgon takes that, man, that takes that really, really well with a max health and max defense Impersonator. And the Dragon Claw is enough to nearly take it out. So the next turn, it's going to go down. Now Master's going to go for a Stone Edge. Man, they had 3 misses. Oh, man, that definitely mattered. Like, they missed 3 out of, I guess if they had 5, Stone Edge, they missed 3 out of 5. Man, that's really, really bad. Stone miss, people. Stone miss. So now the last Pokemon, the second last Pokemon is the Golisopod with our first Scummy Impression. I know that it's got the King's Rock, and I was hoping they didn't get flinched by. And I didn't. I'm able to get off the Dragon Claw, and that does some nice damage to the Golisopod. So Golisopod here can go for Pin Missile, try and hit me like more than... It needs to hit me at least 3 or 4 times to take me out. So it's going for that Mighty Pin Missile. There's 1, and there's 2. It only hits twice, man. The salt is real. Going for the Dragon Claw, and that's going to take out the Golisopod there. I'm very, very happy with that result, man. I'd be salty if I was that Golisopod. I'd be salty. So the last Pokemon is the Ferroseed. There's not much Shelgon can really do to this. I thought, let's just go for Dragon Claw, do a little bit of damage, and I can swap another Pokemon in afterwards to try and deal with this. Iron Barb's giving me a little bit. That's fine. I'm happy with that result. So now I can swap in, it does have Gyro Ball, which is a problem if my moves were to miss though. Both my Pokemon are relatively quick. So swapping in my Salamence, a special one, I can go for a Fire Blast here to try and take this thing out. The only thing I was hoping that I didn't miss. So it's going to go for Protect, obviously trying to PP stall me hard. It would take a lot of PP stalling because I do have max PP on Fire Blast, which is 8. So I've got 7 now, and the second Fire Blast connects, and that is Ferroseed most definitely down. And I hope you guys enjoyed this team, and I've got a bonus battle and some bloopers at the end. Peace out.